Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everybody, I hope that you're doing well. Today we're going to work on Surah AD DUHA, or the rising day. Surah AD DUHA is the 93rd surah of Al-Quran Al-Kareem. It was revealed during the Meccan period, and it is made of 11 verses, 11 ayat. Surah AD DUHA takes its name from its first word in the first ayah, AD DUHA, the rising day. Surah AD DUHA was revealed during the early period at Mecca when the revelations were suspended for a period of time in the beginning of the prophethood, because Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ was not yet accustomed to bearing the intensity of the revelation. Surah AD DUHA was revealed to console the Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, and its objective is to remove his anxiety and his distress, which was caused by the suspension of the revelation. The tradition indicates that the revelation had stopped for a time, which did put the Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ into a deep distress, and it did sadden him, fearing that he had made a mistake that caused the fury or the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam had been worried about the sudden stop of the revelation. Surah AD DUHA consoled him by telling him that the revelation had not been interrupted because of Allah's displeasure, but that it had been necessary, as is the calm of the night after the brightness of the day. And some scholars say that Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ companions told him that if you had been constantly exposed to the intense clarity of the revelation, or al-wahi, your nerves couldn't have endured it. Therefore, an interval had been given to you that you may find peace and tranquility. This took place at the beginning of the prophetic mission, when Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not accustomed to hearing the intensity of the revelation, a time when Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was unaccustomed to the heavy burden and responsibility of the revelation. For this reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had decided that a pause between revelations was necessary. It was only later that the Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ adapted to the tighter intervals of the revelations. At the very beginning, the revelation had ceased for a long time, and Nabi ﷺ was worried, fearing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had abandoned him. It should be known that the burden of the revelation was so heavy to bear that only later, when Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was able to bear this burden, these intervals were no longer necessary. In Surah AD DUHA, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins first with an oath of the morning light and the calm of the night. Then he reassures the Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, saying, "Your Lord has not forsaken you, nor is he displeased with him." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells him he will receive the good news that the great difficulties of the beginning of his mission will not last, because each period of his future life will be better than the previous one. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will shower him with so many blessings that he will be satisfied. There was no indication that this man, without support or wealth, who had embarked on a battle against the ignorance and the paganism of an entire nation, would achieve such a great success and will reach to have a ummah. In Surah AD DUHA, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the benefits granted to Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In ayah 6, 7, and 8, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds the Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam for all the favors he granted him from his young age when he was just an orphan child until he appointed him as a messenger of his words. As a child, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Sayyidina Muhammad, had lost his parents and was brought up by his uncle Abu Talib. It was only after he reached his 40s that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose him to become his prophet. His uncle Abu Talib always defended him against the accusation of the tribe of Quraysh, but still, long before the prophecy, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was poor, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him a great honest trader. As a matter of fact, he was noticed by Lalla Khadija, a rich widow. She had decided to trust him with her business before marrying him. And this marriage had brought the Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wealth, but also a great and precious moral support, especially during the trials of preaching. Lalla Khadija was the first to believe in him and to enter al-Islam. In the last 3 verses of Surah AD DUHA, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands all believers to observe the following 3 pieces of advice. The first one, do not humiliate the orphan, nor harm him in his property. Do not despise the beggars and the poor. And the third one, worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and extol his merits. Surah AD DUHA speaks of the problems we find in our society today, like poverty, the resolution of which invokes the foundation of al-Islam. As a matter of fact, zakat, which is one of the 5 pillars of al-Islam, is not a simple act of kindness, as zakat is a right that benefits everyone in a family. All of the members support each other. Similarly, in the streets, the poor are considered the brother of the rich by their religion, which is al-Islam. In conclusion, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has instructed Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, telling him how he should treat the creatures of God to repay for the favors he has done him, and how he should render thanks for the blessings he has bestowed on him. After the revelation of Surah AD DUHA, some scholars say that Nabi Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam recommended that it's nice to proclaim the greatness of Allah. It is recommended after the reading of Surah AD DUHA or the recitation of Surah AD DUHA to say Allahu Akbar or وَلَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ أَكْبَرُ وَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدُ وَلَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ أَكْبَرُ وَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدُ. Or you can simply say Allahu Akbar. Now I'm going to translate Surah AD DUHA ayah by ayah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the specially merciful. وَالضُّحَى, by the full moon. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى, and by the night when complete darkness falls down. مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى, your Lord has not forsaken you, nor has he become displeased. وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى, and surely the hereafter is better for you than that which has gone before. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving him the good news that the hardships that he experienced in the initial stage of his mission will not last long, and the later period of life for him will be better than the former period. وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى, and soon will your Lord certainly give you blessings so that you shall be well pleased. أَلَمْ يَجِدْكَ يَتِيمًا فَآوَى, Did he not find you orphan? Then did he not give you shelter with someone who would protect you? وَوَجَدَكَ ضَلًّا فَهَدَى, and he found you in misguidance, then delivered you to the straight path, to the hidayat. وَوَجَدَكَ عَائِلًا فَأَغْنَى, and he found you in poverty, then made you rich. Then addressing An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allah says, "O my beloved Prophet, what has caused you anxiety and fear that your Lord has abandoned you, and that we are displeased with you when we have granted blessing after blessing? You were born an orphan, we saw to the care and education that were granted to you. You did not know the straight path, we showed it to you. You were poor, we made you rich." All this shows that we favored you from the beginning, and that our grace and bounty were constantly upon you. فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ, but from now on, do not oppress or distress the orphan. وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ, and do not reprimand the one who asks. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructs the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam by telling him how he should treat God's creatures in return of his favors, and how he should be grateful for all the blessings he bestowed on him. وَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ, but start explaining the blessings of your Lord. And this is where An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had recommended to say, وَلَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ أَكْبَرُ وَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدُ. Wallahu a'lam. I hope this small explanation and small translation of Surah AD DUHA was helpful. I wish you the best. Take care of yourself. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bye-bye.